Okay, and for the English update, today's words were given to me by a dear friend, a musician vocalist, Katarina Jovancic, and she also sings this amazing song, Magdalenca. I have already placed a video YouTube link under the Slovene version. Now, when I'm done here as well, it's in Slovene, but music is a universal language, so you're gonna enjoy it for sure. And she gave me 5 keywords, and today's keywords are bell, scourge. Scourge is like a rod, but the rod is thicker, and scourge is like, it's a branch whip, like a special whip, a wand, a willow wand to used for hitting. So we have bell, scourge, we have cadaver, cadaver. We have a monkey wrench, and we have a postman. The thing I like about different language is that it opens up a whole new realm of possibilities. Like the monkey wrench, this is an adjustable wrench. It's called the screwdriver, French key in Slovene. And when I was typing in, it kind of got my brain into this funny, well, it, you know, if there's a kiss and there's a French kiss, how would the analogy with screw and French screw be? That was, but never mind. Bell, scourge, cadaver, cadaver, I'm not sure. How do you say? I'll just have, I check. I've never said, I say dead body. So, cadaver, I'll go with cadaver. Anyway, I'll go with cadaver, and if it's wrong, then you can scourge me. This whole story got me into this this mindset. That's the keywords got me thinking. I'm doing this to avoid this quarantine mentality, but these words kind of got me into this mode, so I just went with it. And so this story happened in a time far, far away, in a place far, far away, that had nothing to do with our reality and our current situation, but still there was a quarantine in the village, and cadaver, okay, so it's called cadaver. So there was a quarantine in that village, and the people were told to stay at home. They were not supposed to go outside, they were not supposed to talk to each other, and that to make sure that people really followed those rules, the organs of power set scourgers of these whiplashers on strategical posts all over the village. So whenever they would see, and they were invisible, like hiding behind bushes and ambushed and so on. So if you would go out and want to have a visit at the neighbors for whatever reason, these scourgers would come and they would hit you and whip you and make sure you went back into your own house, so everyone stayed put. And this kind of, just remembering this situation kind of reminded me like how snails live. I talked to a snail once, you know, these house carrying snails, when they have their houses with them all the time. And once, because I really like to travel, I like to go and meet new places, like see new places and travel. And once I was talking to this lady snail, and I said, so what's it like, you know, you have this house with you, so you're at home all the time, so how does it feel when you travel the world? And she looked at me as if I were crazy, like, what do you mean travel the world? Why would I travel the world? Well, I said, I know, it's nice to go places. And she's like, yeah, well, I'm at home all the time, so wherever I go, I am at home, so there's no point of going anywhere. And if I kept going everywhere, then I would have seen the entire world by now, and then if I wanted to go somewhere, I would have Okay, I'm sorry about there's a problem with the signal, I can't help that. So the snail was like, and then I would have seen everything, and then if I really wanted to go somewhere at a specific time, I would have already seen everything, then I would be bored. So the situation of the people kind of reminded me of the situation of the snail, so everyone was just staying put in their houses, didn't go anywhere, but just the cessation of movement did not mean a cessation. Their hearts did not go numb, their brain did not stop functioning, so even though everyone was just stuck in their own houses, they were still experiencing things, and joy and sadness and longing, and they really wanted to share this human experience with their fellow villagers, because this is why we as humans have developed language to such subtle nuances, because it's been like thousands and thousands of years since we've developed language far enough to just say, careful, there's a bear and this is something good to eat. So we language far beyond that, because we have the need for intimate and intensive communication with our fellow beings. And for this reason exactly, the one who was really under stress and overworked in this situation was the village postman, because since people were not allowed to physically go to each other's houses and communicate and exchange their information and talk, they would write all these letters and postcards, and the local postman was the one to deliver them to all the village houses. And that was really taken. And so it was this postman that after a few weeks of quarantine, he came home and he was like exhausted. He said, "Oh my God, I feel like a cadaver. I feel like I'm too tired, I cannot go on." And he felt like taking this monkey wrench and just hitting himself over the head to not have to go to work anymore. He was really down, exhausted, tired, fed up with everything. And then, as he was pondering how to end his misery and how to find an exit from this dire straits of life that he had been tossed into unwillingly, he heard a church bell from the distance. And that inspired him, because this local village church was a world, like it was a unique church in like a global phenomenon that none other churches had. And this church did not only have this one giant traditional, they knew how to make music, and the sound of this big church bell gave the postman an idea. So he took the monkey wrench, and instead of hitting himself with it over the head, he said, I'm gonna put it to constructive use rather to a destructive use. So he took his post bags and he walked the village, and none of the scourgers approached him, because they knew in the streets freely. So the postman went with no disruptions of his plan, went to the church, climbed up to the bell tower, took the monkey wrench, and he unscrewed all the 42 smaller church bells, put them into his post bags, 21 onto each side, and then he went home. And then at home he packed all these bells into little boxes, made neat little packages for all the villagers, and stayed up all night, like writing instructions. Something like Morse code, but audio version thereof, and acoustic communication. So he wrote and delivered all these 42 packages to the houses with the instruction of how to ring these bells specifically with specific communication codes for different households. So then all the villagers were very happy, and they placed these bells on the house windows, and they could then communicate with all the other villagers using these little bells as a channel of communication. So then the postman could finally get his well-deserved rest as well, and he went home and sat down into the couch, took his shoes off, and he got a nice foot rub from his wife. And that's how he made life better for himself and everyone else in the village, so they could communicate freely without putting too much burden on him. And this is today's story. Thank you, Katarina, so much for your challenge and for your friendship and for this amazing song that I'm just gonna put underneath in the comment. I want you all to listen to it and share it and enjoy it as much as I do. And I'll see you all